So, hi, Dr. Paritosh Prashar. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thanks. I'm great. How about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I'm doing well too. And thank you for accepting our invitation to be a part of our Next Gen Entrepreneurs Beyond Dream series. And so today we are joined in by Dr. Paritosh Prashar. He's a co-founder of Sarsuag, and it's founded in 2017, and it's an innovation-driven CRO or contract research organization. And they provide a comprehensive integrated drug discovery services and also customized biosolutions for industries like pharma, biotech, life sciences, and more. And also their proprietary platform IDD-Nexttm. So it's their integrated drug discovery platform, and they provide support to startups and also established biotech companies, right? And big pharma companies to translate their therapeutic molecule from preclinical to the clinical arena. So we are really happy to have you with us today. And we'd like to hear more from you, like about yourself and about your entrepreneurship journey, please.
Thanks, Mayur. Thanks for the invitation. First of all, yeah, I mean, I'll take you through the journey. Starting from my PhD. So I
Mm-hmm.
completed my PhD from IIT Kanpur,
Okay.
and there my PhD supervisor was actually the mentor of an incubator there,
Mm-hmm.
which was offering space for upcoming startups. So from there itself, I had this idea of starting my own company
Mm-hmm.
and getting a motivation from the work that my mentor Amitabh Bandyopadhyay was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And right after my PhD, I joined a drug discovery company. It's a global company called Daiichi Sankyo Pharma in Delhi NCR, and I
Mm-hmm.
was there for around 4 years. And then I joined Syngene International Limited in Bangalore,
Okay.
which was a CRO.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between my previous company and Syngene was that my first company was offering in-house drug discovery. They were doing their
Okay.
own drug discovery.
Mm-hmm.
But Syngene is actually a platform to offer drug discovery to other pharma companies.
Okay.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
what we call contract research organization, where we
Mm-hmm.
do research on the contract basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Syngene for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2020, Syngene decided to start another company, another spin-off, which they called Synvent. And
Okay.
I was given this opportunity to lead the biology there.
Mm-hmm.
So I shifted to Synvent, and there from 2020 to late 2021, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it growth from 0 employees to more than 150 employees.
Okay.
And the idea of starting Synvent was that to offer drug discovery services, purely drug discovery services to
Mm-hmm.
upcoming startups, virtual companies, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And there, while working in Synvent, I realized that what are the domains which requires improvement when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to contract research organizations and
Mm-hmm.
the kind of services that they are offering to startups and virtual pharma companies.
Mm-hmm.
And there itself, I decided, let's use my experience and skill set to have my own organization where I can offer these kind of services in a better manner, right?
Okay.
And
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then we decided to start our own CRO. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not that I was not working on my company. I was doing a bit of homework myself.
Mm-hmm.
And formally, we started this company in 2020, late
Mm-hmm.
2021, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
and which we call Sarsuag. And like you rightly
Mm-hmm.
said, we are offering contract research organization services.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we also have our in-house novel diagnostic discovery division as well. So we are
Okay.
into
Okay.
contract research organization,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, we are designing novel, diagnostic kits,
Okay.
which
Mm-hmm.
the way it is different from the other diagnostic company is that
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to predict the disease way before a symptom has are showing up for a particular disease,
Okay.
so that
Mm-hmm.
you have an early intervention. You
Mm-hmm.
can have a proper therapeutic regimen to target those disease. For
Mm-hmm.
example, atherosclerosis, like it's a cardiac disease, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a silent killer. People may not
Yes.
know that their arteries are being clogged. So what
Mm-hmm.
we are doing is we are discovering or making kits which can predict as early
Okay.
as 10 years, 20 years that your symptoms has started, and you can
Mm-hmm.
change your lifestyle, or you
Yes.
can have.
Yeah,
So
that's
this is what
really
the journey is.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what journey is. Our lab is in Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
and we are right now around 25 people in our
Okay.
company,
Mm-hmm.
from PhDs to fresh MSCs, experienced people,
Mm-hmm.
and like we have several clients, drug discovery clients, to
Mm-hmm.
which we are offering small molecule and large molecule drug discovery services.
So that's really great and inspiring journey, like step by step you gain the experience in the field and
Yes.
got the insight on the gaps which is existing, and then
Yes.
you thought of solving that from your own venture. So that's really great. And also to see, right, because we have a conventional process of PhDs, and then we go to academia or industry and then continue lifelong, and we always have such initial challenge. We have some idea, but it's very difficult to start. And it's really interesting to see a group of people working towards it. And also as coming from a biotech background myself, I can understand the initial challenges, because when it comes
Agreed.
to drug discovery, biotech companies, initially you'd have some would have had some challenges like core team formation, funding,
Yes.
infrastructure, because it's all very important part of such a venture. So what were your initial challenges?
So you raised the right point, Mayuri. Actually, it's like right after my PhD, most of my
Mhm.
colleagues were going to, good places for
Mhm.
their postdocs. Like I have
Yes.
my colleagues who are in Harvard, MIT, and they are outstanding scientists.
Mhm.
But like I said, that my idea was to, just stay back in our country and we do
Mhm.
something towards innovation. And, just follow the startup culture, generate jobs, right?
True.
And you're right, like it was a difficult journey because in life science the early investment is huge, right?
Yes.
You need costly instrumentation, the lab
Mhm.
structure itself takes a lot of funding.
Mhm.
But the good thing is that the way we are working is we have a lot of projects, and
Mhm.
we take a part of those earnings to just run our family and pay our
Okay.
employees. But at the
Mhm.
same time, a large chunk, like a majority of those the earning are we are reinvesting in our infrastructure. And
Mhm.
that's the reason why we were able to have our own lab, right?
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
difficult in India to have your own lab, especially in
Mhm.
Bangalore. We are in the prime location, we have
Mhm.
good infrastructure at the same time. So this is how we work, and we till date we have not taken any funding, or
Okay.
any, we are
Mhm.
not in any, we don't have any VC investment. We are just
Mhm.
what we are earning, we are investing back. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was a difficult journey. Like you won't believe that the way we are two partners. The
Mhm.
other partner is Dr. Prabhakar. He's an
Mhm.
outstanding scientist who takes care
Mhm.
of the biologics and biosimilar part, and I
Mhm.
take care of the small molecule discovery and diagnostic division.
Okay.
So we have worked really hard. I
Mhm.
would say, like we. You may need another session to discuss that kind of journey or the hard work that we have done.
Mhm.
But I think one of the major factor why we were able to start this company or establish our own lab is
Mhm.
because of the COVID. It
Mhm.
gave a kind of boost to the pharma sectors,
Mhm.
and the so when we start, I'll go back to the Sinvent part. When we were working
Mhm.
on Sinvent, when it was started, at the same time COVID
Okay.
happened. So
Okay. Okay.
there were
Mhm.
a lot of clients who agreed to give us the work, but at the same time, due to COVID, they retracted,
Mhm.
and that was a setback. And we were, in fact, asked to
Mhm.
stop this platform. But at the
Okay.
same time, it once the demand was
Mhm.
risen, we got a lot of projects, and
Mhm.
that's when I realized that there's a lot of scope in India. We
Yes.
CRO is just an emerging field which can generate
Mhm.
immense potential and jobs.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean that was the COVID was the tickling point, and
Mhm.
that helped us a lot in understanding what are the domains which needs improvement and how we can serve better to the pharma companies.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, some glimpses from your initial journey. And really, I understand, as when you said hard work, like day and
Yes,
night without any, gaps or holidays. And we know about the culture works, right? Culture works. It all
yes,
takes a period of time in which you have to concentrate only on that. And yes, so that's actually very inspiring to know. And also coming to the team, right? It's very nice to see that you already formed a team of 20 plus people. So, and also it would
yes,
have been a very good inspiration for the youngsters to join, because coming to biotech and life science field itself, like experience is the key. Like even we study
yes,
theoretically, practically in our universities, it doesn't make much of what is required out in the world, right? So it's good.
right.
And how was your experience working with youngsters, guiding them?
I'll come to that. So first of all, in our company, it's a proud thing to say. Like
Mm-hmm.
we 75% of our scientists are female scientists. Like
Ah, okay.
and they are outstanding scientists. In fact, we are even hiring people with BSc
Mm-hmm.
like qualification. We are not just going with post graduation because we think that. They are eager to learn, they are hardworking, and I
Mm-hmm.
think they are here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we don't do we have a policy, we'll never do this kind of bond kind of thing that you have to stay here. Though we
Mm-hmm.
are a startup, we cannot afford
Yeah.
attrition, right? But
Mm-hmm.
still we give them the liberty. If you think you are getting better opportunities, in
Mm-hmm.
fact, our first two candidates, like the scientists who joined us, they are doing PhD in Europe, like they are Marie Curie fellows. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
we promote, we motivate them to look for other good opportunities if they
Mm-hmm.
can. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, they are open, like we are free, like they can stay here, they can
Mm-hmm.
grow while we also grow. So
True.
we have this kind of culture. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's good. Like working with youngsters is a different experience, especially we hire
Mm-hmm.
freshers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are a startup because sometimes we cannot afford high
Mm-hmm.
salaries of experienced people, and that's a fact,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we
Yeah.
hire freshers and we train them, and in fact it
Mm-hmm.
turns out that they are better in when it comes to delivery. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't care about the timings and week
True.
off. They have a zeal, they want to achieve something. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what is actually great, and that's actually supporting us in our growth.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing. And yes, that's true. Like whatever you shared as a points, right? It's really true. And also, it's good that you don't have any bondage, with the employees, and promote them with the open
Yes, couldn't
mindset.
be
And
better.
it's really interesting, and also providing them encouragement to pursue
Yeah.
other career options. Very interesting. And also, when you said about the COVID, right, which also was the triggering point in your whole
Yes.
organization build up and more, like if you could just share, because Bangalore, we know it went a bit, all over India, we went to a very strict lockdown. And how was it performing there? Because we require biotech and life science, we have to be in the lab and do the work. How it was, what were the challenges, and what were some inspiring experiences you had in the time?
Yes, yeah, that's important. Actually, when COVID started in February
Mm-hmm.
2020, like we got the first case. At that time only, I realized that we are going into some
Mm-hmm.
we are going to get some real danger when it comes to COVID. In
Yeah.
fact, by March, I had somehow arranged the the you are a biotechnologist, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I arranged the plasmid which was expressing the protein, the COVID
Mm-hmm.
RBD domain.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to, and I was at that time I was in Sinjin, so you don't have that
Mm-hmm.
kind of liberty to do work on your own ideas.
Yes.
In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I approached some of the people who were at higher end
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
start developing these kind of kits, or try generating neutralizing antibodies, and we had the
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure, but I didn't get any support. And at that time I
Okay.
realized that it's the time that I should move on, I should be having my own startup.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing the homework. And in
Mm-hmm.
fact, very recently we have published a paper of, we have discovered a neutralizing, a potent neutralizing antibody against
Mm-hmm.
COVID. But you can
Okay.
imagine that, while I was doing this homework, I was not at liberty to do the lab work because I was
Mm-hmm.
getting salary from Syngene. And
Mm-hmm.
when I left, I immediately started working on that, and
Mm-hmm.
we within 3 months we developed a platform to
Mm-hmm.
from disease to neutralizing antibody. We can identify the neutralizing antibody in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we developed that,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the kind of setback, because you have ideas but you don't have liberty to work,
Yeah, we
right?
had the potential
So
in hand, but we can't even try out. Yeah, that's
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, you can
Mm-hmm.
imagine I had the protein sequence. I
Mm-hmm.
requested, the other authorities, like, let's generate a protein vaccine. At that
Mm-hmm.
time, the vaccine was
Yes,
another 1 year, like we were
yes,
talking about 2021.
true. Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
and that was a frustrating moment, because I knew that
Mm-hmm.
it has potential. And
True.
so that these are some of the experience which motivated me. I mean, this is a time, let's start working on
Mm-hmm.
our own,
Yeah, that's very
entrepreneurship.
inspiring actually. And also, the move which you took, than having a very settled job, a salary job, and but still you wanted to use the potential to help people and also, upskill them and also help the country. Because I can
Especially,
understand even in the very initial stage, if that would have worked from your side, the vaccine, we could have had one more set of vaccines, and
yes.
yes. Mm-hmm.
In fact, I mean, for like, it was a big decision in the sense that after COVID started, people were worried about their jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was
Yes.
a big decision for me to leave a settled
Mm-hmm.
job, a decent job, and in fact, the
Yeah.
work culture in Syngene is outstanding. So
Mm-hmm.
I, whatever I have, like the experience that I have, gained in Syngene helped me in starting my own company. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a, good company with good
Mm-hmm.
work life balance, and leaving that to start your own work, when you just go on your own entrepreneurship journey, was a
Mm-hmm.
difficult decision. But I knew that I will be able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
since I have experience of starting another company within a company in Syngene. So I knew that I will
Yeah.
be able to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
it looks like we are on the right track, right path,
Mm-hmm.
and our turnover is, growing exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the right decision.
Yeah, that's also, yeah, and also to have an indigenous product, right? So when we have
Yes.
our own Indian-based startup, developing, like as you said, very much required cardiovascular disease diagnosis and
Yes.
early
Yes.
stages, than having a standardized protocols, ECG scanning, etc. Like to just have a blood
Yes.
test, just a biomarker-based test to have a very early diagnosis would save a lot of people, and also we
Yeah,
can.
I mean, this is not restricted to cardiovascular diseases. We are also focusing on other diseases,
Mm-hmm.
and like you rightly said, that generally the diagnostic companies in India comes into picture
Yeah.
when you have already developed the disease at
Yes.
irreversible stages. So
Mm-hmm.
what if we identify the disease when you can actually reverse the disease
Mm-hmm.
progression, and that's the idea behind that. So we,
True.
we have a panel, and soon we'll be launching a separate company for our
Mm-hmm.
diagnostic division,
Mm-hmm.
because there will be, it is better to have, two separate
Yes.
entities, and we are working on that. But once we have a, good platform, when we have
Mm-hmm.
a viable product in our hand, we'll go
Mm-hmm.
with the separate companies. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how you work. I mean, you
True. Mm-hmm.
grab opportunities, you generate
Mm-hmm.
job, because in pharma sector it's not just pharma, like it
Yes.
has drug discovery, it has
Mm-hmm.
small molecule, large molecule, antibodies, and
Yes.
diagnostics, so many things we
Mm-hmm.
can do. So
Yes.
that's how
Yes.
we
Mm-hmm.
plan to expand.
So yeah, that's really great, and also thank you. It's good to see that we don't have much of medical manufacturers, and very established Indian-based companies. All it's still till like after independence, so many years, like we are dependent on diagnostic tools and everything from which are imported, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's not just imported product, it's the imported ideas also, right? We are working on
Yes.
generics,
Mm-hmm.
biosimilars. We wait for the product to be
Yes.
developed in, Western countries, and
And
then
then
we develop our own. We just kind of reverse engineer that, or we wait
yes.
for the patent to expire. So
Mm-hmm.
instead, it's the time we need to have novel drug discovery, novel
Yes.
diagnostic discovery, something
Mm-hmm.
new or discovery happening in
Mm-hmm.
pharma sectors.
Yes,
And I
yes,
think
yeah,
startups are the right platform to do such
true.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
work, to take that kind of risk.
Yes, yes, yeah. And also solving, because solving the disease diagnostic and other issues like indigenously, it will be great.
Yes.
It will also boost our market, and also it'll be a great a market for us itself. Like than people using us as market, Indian people as market, we know the issue and we can rightly solve it in the root cause. So that's
I mean,
really
our
inspiring.
our youth is these days are very health conscious, and
Mhm.
they won't mind checking, like at the right from,
Yes.
let's say a person crosses age 30, and that's
Mhm.
the right time you start taking care of your cardiovascular health or mental health. So
Yes.
we
Mhm.
are working on those kind of kit when it comes
Mhm.
to your mental health, cardiovascular, and
Mhm.
other diseases that affects
Okay.
these days to our population. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And also, like as you said about, your diagnostic tools, and it's very, I want to know about this, your value proposition, right? Like you are planning to expand it to other disease horizons also. Like now,
Yes.
what can you please say, like now or what disease diagnostics you focus on, and in future, in your future, what are your ideas to improve? Just to have a note. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we are focusing on CVDs, diabetes, especially our focus is on mental health. Especially
Okay.
after COVID, you can see that there was surge
Yes.
in cases
Mm-hmm.
when the people had problems with the mental
Mm-hmm.
issues. And these in India, we don't take it seriously. Like
Yes.
it's a joke, right? If someone says
Mm-hmm.
that I have these kind of problems, so this is the
Mm-hmm.
time that I think we start focusing on mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and we are working towards that. We are
Mm-hmm.
developing a panel of biomarkers to assess that, and that will
Okay.
help in actually tell a person that he
Mm-hmm.
or she is suffering from mental issues. And in
Okay.
fact, that would be a great thing to do. And apart from that, we are also working on infertility. Like
Okay.
infertility is being especially male infertility,
Yes.
right?
That's also a
So
pandemic now in our country.
it is,
Yes.
it is,
Mm-hmm.
it is. In fact, when in India, we think that infertility is, cause related to female patients, but it's not.
Yes. Yeah.
It's equally contributed
Mm-hmm.
by a male population. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
half of the population is suffering that. So
Yes.
it's important that our focus should be towards male fertility. We
Mm-hmm.
are developing some very novel kit where you can,
Mm-hmm.
uh, check your fertility status
Mm-hmm.
using a simple smartphone based platform. I cannot
Okay.
reveal the complete detail because confidential. We are filing a patent, but
Okay.
when we do it, it's going to be a game changer. So
Mm-hmm.
overall,
Mm-hmm.
what we are trying to do is, disrupt the existing diagnostic industry, the way it works.
Okay.
Like not after the disease has developed, but
Mm-hmm.
before the disease has just started, and you can
Okay.
have early interventions.
Like
Yeah,
more of a preventive healthcare than just
preventive,
just not a
preventive diagnostic.
prognostic one but a preventive one, like even
Exactly.
early, and then even cure it in the very early stage, or even preventing
Exactly.
it from happening. So yeah,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
really, that's the need of the
And
hour, I would.
while I'm talking to you, it's not just an idea. We are already at the stage of validating, optimizing some of
Mm-hmm.
these kits, and hopefully in
Okay.
another 6 months, we'll after filing the patent, and we'll go with
Mm-hmm.
clinical trials and marketing, etc. So
Okay.
hopefully another, if we have a we expect that another 2 years
Mm-hmm.
we'll have a product in market.
That's great. Actually, it's very early stage startup, as you mentioned,
Yes,
and you have developed multiple products, and it's possible. No, it's not
yes, it
just
is.
a dream, but it's actually when we have a potential and right direction, right people in hand, and right mindset. Like it's possible, and it's really
It
inspiring
is.
to know. And we look forward to have to see the your kids in the market, and also it beating all the counterparts, which are the standard kits available ones, and yeah, it being more comparable, and even outperforming those available kits, and it will change diagnostic sector itself. Yeah, we look forward.
Thanks, Mayuri. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, it should. Let's
Mhm.
hope at least it would, because
Yes,
we
we
don't
do.
know. Because
Yeah.
these are some of the novel biomarker that we have
Mhm.
identified. We have our own AI
Mhm.
platform. We have our own data team, and so
Okay.
using those platforms, we have
Mhm.
identified these markers, and we are developing those kits. So
Okay,
hopefully, it should
nice.
work.
So
Yeah.
it's nice. It's like you combining the digital health, and also
Yeah.
providing the conventional, like kit-based, sample-based testing, and Internet
Yes.
of Health things, like Internet of Health also there,
Yeah.
and it's nice. You combine
And it is a
multiple.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very simple kit. Using
Mm-hmm.
your blood sample, you can get an idea about your health status.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, and it will be. We plan to have it. We call it a $5 kit. For all our kits, will be
Okay.
less than 500 rupees, even lesser than that.
Okay, that's actually that's where you place it, right? Very affordable and also
Yes,
accessible to even
yes.
people from any corner of our country. So
Anywhere.
that's.
Like, it will not
Mm-hmm,
be a costly kit. It will be less than
mm-hmm,
500, even lesser than that when we manufacture in bulk. So
that's
that's the
great.
idea. I mean,
Mm-hmm,
target the population when, especially younger population,
mm-hmm.
uh, so that they can take care of their health.
That's nice. Very inspiring. Thank you, Doctor, for sharing all this and your experience. And I would like to know about your most rewarding experience because, as an early startup and having multiple products, you'd have had some experience. Okay, you were hoping something would work, and it was in the right path. Like some of the experience, like just you can give me a glimpse of it,
Uh,
and. Mhm,
So far, so good. I mean,
mhm,
we have delivered on most of the project when it comes to CRO part.
mhm.
But sometimes, it is not an experience. I'll talk about collaboration.
Okay.
So, see, we are just a startup. So we don't have, let's say, we don't have a computational facility, or we don't have animal facility, which is a
Mhm,
requirement in our sector.
mhm.
So we got a project where these two were required, and we were struggling, because I have the habit, like, I'll never say no. If a
Okay.
project comes and I don't have that facility, still somehow I will manage, right?
Mhm.
So we were struggling, and at the same time we met our collaborators, and they were so
Okay.
helpful. They are the established player in the field, but
Mhm.
they were so helpful, and I can tell you about the computational part,
Mhm.
and I should acknowledge them. I should talk about our collaborator. His name is Sarath, and he is
Mhm.
running a company called Boltzmann Lab in the
Okay.
same facility where we have our company. And we
Mhm.
were not aware that we are, neighbors. And I was
Okay.
looking for that
Mhm.
computational company, and you won't believe the
Mhm.
person who arranged that meeting or helped us, in collaborating
Mhm.
was the guard of our building, the security guard.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he's an educated person, and I have the habit of, talking to all these people,
Everyone. Uh-huh.
both the person who
Okay.
cleans our facility, or the guard.
Mhm.
Every day I'll talk to them what is happening in life and
Mhm.
everything. And I was talking to them. I had this problem, and I don't know why I
Okay.
was talking to him. And then he
Okay.
said, "Sir, there is another company with
Mhm.
so many computers, and they are also working in bioinformatics." He knew the term. And I
Okay.
went there, and it turns out that they were in the building, the next door. So
Okay.
I went to him, I met him, and it turns out he's doing a wonderful job. He's running
Uh-huh.
an artificial, AI
Mhm.
platform based company to discover novel drugs. Now we have
Okay.
made very good collaboration, and
Great.
it's a part of our organization now. So
Mhm.
these kind of experience motivates you.
Mhm.
These are kind of, I'd say, feel good factors when it comes to,
Yes.
startup journey.
Yeah, like as we have the famous term when when you want to write in the universe itself, helps in the moment. Why you mention it to your God, and he would have known the term and the right intuition at the right time and right set of people. Yeah,
In,
that's
in fact,
really
in fact,
interesting.
in fact, entire ecosystem in Bangalore, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
biotech startup, is very supporting and
Mm-hmm.
collaborating. You
Okay.
need something, there are certain platforms where you raise your
Mm-hmm.
request, and immediately you will get people to, help you.
Interesting.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's good thing about Bangalore
Mm-hmm.
startup ecosystem, and that
Mm-hmm.
helped us a lot. So
That's great. Mm-hmm.
most of the times we are not worried if we get a project for which we
Mm-hmm.
don't have resources. We know that
Okay.
will somehow someone will help
Manage,
us in.
yeah, network is very strong so that
Networking.
the people are very welcoming and to collaborate and to share the ideas. Yeah,
Right.
which is a major missing in academia, I would say, but this is very nice to
Right.
see they have you have such a culture in the startups, so
Yes.
that would really help as your startup as well as country as a whole, right? That's very good
Yeah.
mindset to go forward. Mm-hmm.
In fact, we have in our panel of, consultant, we have good postdocs, PhDs, US trained, Europe trained, and people. Whenever we have a certain challenging project, we
Mm-hmm.
involve them, and
Okay.
this way, if we are not able to directly hire those people, we
Mm-hmm.
certainly help them on a monetary basis when it comes to
Okay.
consultancy, and
Mm-hmm.
that's way we are also kind of, I'd say, helping the scientists,
Mm-hmm.
not directly involving, but through consultancy.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Doctor, for sharing all this, your experience and everything, and for your time today. It was really
thanks,
great interacting with you. And as in, I would like to take some two takeaways from you for inspiring, aspiring entrepreneurs, and also some youngsters like who
yeah.
are having the vision, but still they are. So, what you'd say for them from your experience?
Yes, I mean, I think if you have an idea, just don't hide it. I mean, there are several platforms. In fact, the government of India now have incubator all in almost every city with
Mhm,
the funding like big grant and certain other startup funding, seed funding. Take advantage of those and
mhm,
start from your college days, because in
mhm,
college you have liberty to start your own work. Nobody would dare
mhm.
say that I'm paying you and you cannot do you
Yes.
start your own work. So
Mhm,
take those risks, start early, and
mhm,
I can tell you one thing: the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem in India is developing at a fast pace. You will
mhm,
get a success.
mhm,
Not maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time, but third
mhm,
time. Obviously, you will get the success.
mhm,
And uh, like I say to a lot of youngsters who comes to us for training, or we go
mhm,
and present our work in certain colleges. So I
mhm,
always say that if you need any support, if you need our lab set up to work on your ideas, feel free. Please come to our
mhm,
lab and you can work. You can write
mhm,
grants. You can show our labs as your working place. And
mhm.
I'm saying this, sharing this message through your platform also to
Okay.
youngsters. We are in Electronic City, sorry,
Mhm,
in Bangalore. If you need our help, please do not hesitate. You can come
mhm,
anytime,
mhm.
and we'll help you for sure.
Yeah, that's
So,
actually,
yeah,
thank you, thank you, Prashant, because that's the very bigger bottleneck for anyone, right? To have the
yes,
right set of infrastructure to,
yeah,
to work on our ideas. And there itself, there comes a stoppage for many people. But
yeah.
thanks a lot for, sharing this message. And I really see, in future, I hope that many students utilize the facility and also take inspiration from you and your work. And yes, yeah, thank you,
Thanks,
Dr.
Mayuri. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Paritosh, for your time today, and we really appreciate it. And we look forward in meeting you in another session in future.
sure.
Mhm.
Thanks, Mayur. Thanks for the invitation, and it was nice talking to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.